Gas prices and diesel prices are about to rise pretty well on the heels of what Israel just did, striking Iran preemptively, which I believe would stop a serious crisis in the future. But as of today, we're talking oil prices are just exploding higher, up 8%. That's a lot for a commodity. And in the next 10, 12 days, you're going to see the price of gas jump. Now, it may only jump, let's say, 50 cents a gallon, 60 cents a gallon. But what you don't understand, or what you hopefully do understand, is that our economy is already teetering and costs are so close. The margins for so many companies are so tight, and it's like one little domino that you push over and it takes the entire string of dominoes out. I want to talk about what happened in 2007, 2008. I think it's really important to understand this, and then we're going to talk about how to make money from it. Hey everyone, Economic Ninja here. Hope you're doing well. All right, so I want to talk about how to make money because there's a lot of money to be made on specific oil stocks. There's actually an oil company out of Israel that's going to be a very interesting play too in the future. I don't own it now, but I plan on investing in it. I think it's really important to understand that. Well, let me stop real quick. Let me read a couple of key points from this story from CNBC. U.S. crude oil jumps more than 8% on the heels of the Israeli strikes. It says crude futures jumped more than $5 a barrel on Friday after Israel launched airstrikes against Iran without U.S. support. The attack has sparked concerns over the supply outlook from the oil-rich Middle East region, and this operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. And that quote comes from Benjamin Netanyahu. So I want to bring everyone back for a second. Oh, real quick, I want to remind everyone, a link down below to the AI stock trader course. And as a matter of fact, there are a lot of people that are already putting that to work. It's in the pre-filming discount right now, so all the videos aren't finished yet, but they're going to be finished any day now. And they're going to be using it to hunt out oil companies during this, because there are going to be a lot of oil companies that are going to benefit from this higher oil price. Their stocks are going to explode higher. So that link's down below if you want it. Now, in 2008, the country in the U.S. had been pressed to the brink of crash, which it did, because things were getting expensive. I don't know if you remember this. It seemed like everybody in California was driving an SUV. Fuel prices were steadily increasing. Home prices it seemed like they're getting higher and higher. They're going up and up, but they were topping around that time. And the cost of all kinds of goods was rising. Now, it's nothing like what we've seen just recently after COVID. But at a certain point during the summer, what happened was companies got squeezed so much because of the fuel price. There was fuel surcharges. I remember having electricians and plumbers come out to work on our house, and there was actually fuel surcharges that were put, not on my house, on other people's houses I knew actually, because they had fuel surcharges because, if you had to drive like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, the fuel was getting so expensive, they would tack that on as an additional cost to the consumer. Well, big companies were getting squeezed as well, and what happened was finally semi-trucks started pulling over, and it was making the news in specific parts of the country. They were just pulling over, and it wasn't really a strike. It was like, we can't haul this load to where it's got to go for the contract that we signed a handful of months ago or 6 months ago, because fuel had been rising so sharply, so quickly, and it took a lot of companies by surprise. Well, now, and can I, yes or no? Type yes or no. Do you guys remember that? Because it's an important thing to understand. When all these semi-trucks were pulled over on the side of the highway, it's getting covered because they were so tight on their margins because fuel ran up so high. Well, now you've got the price of oil has sat pretty much around 61 to 66 bucks for quite some time. I'm going to jump and grab the chart here. And now all of a sudden we see this massive spike. As of today, it's up 8% in one day. That's a massive move, right? As a matter of fact, no, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Oil's been trending down for the entire year, right? And fuel prices have been pretty steady, at least in my region of the country, for the last year. And I currently pay like $4 a gallon for diesel, right? In Nevada. Here in California, it's like $4.60, $4.70, which diesel, just so you know, type 1 if you agree, should be cheaper than gas because it's derivative. I don't know what they're doing with that. So here's the thing. So this sudden spike, a lot of contracts in the last like 3 or 4 months, where oil, 3 or 4 months, oil has been sitting like, I don't know, 67 to 60 bucks, right? A lot of these contracts, these companies were written based off of current fuel prices with a little bit of a margin. This spike today, I think, is just the beginning, because as days go on in this campaign to hit Iran, you're going to see more and more people diving into the oil market to buy oil futures to lock in the price today, hoping that figuring it's going to probably go up in the future. And more buyers of that causes the prices to swing up. And it's interesting because it's almost like this perfect storm in the economy that's coming in July, as you know, we get to see the earnings from all these companies that were getting hit during the financial crisis that happened 8 weeks ago in April. We've got these higher fuel prices that are going to be hitting us. And not only, what an interesting time for this to happen as the summer traveling season begins, which I don't personally believe is going to be all that much because people are pretty much broke. We see that in credit card numbers, where credit cards are getting maxed out. We see student loans having to be repaid. That's another part of this perfect storm, where people had this forbearance and now they're immediately having to go and pay, right? And this summer, travel season is when normally fuel prices spike anyway. And now you've got a war that involves the Middle East, where most of the oil is brought out of the ground and shipped around the country or the world. So it seems like this just perfect storm. As you want to add fuel to the fire, no pun intended, you've got riots starting, going off in California because Gavin Newsom is I'm not even going to say anything about it. And these groups, these special interest groups that want to turn us communist, it's really their plan, are planning these things all around the country, right? And they're hiring poor people that don't have a whole lot of common sense. Let's just call a spade a spade. And they're going to start, warm weather, it brings out the crazy in people. So I see this summer as an incredibly huge opportunity. And I wish none of this bad stuff was happening. But the truth is, I was listening to the sheriff of Riverside County in California talk about it. He goes, these riots and protests happen about once, maybe twice a year anyway, on average in California. And he says this stuff is not really stoppable, it's preventable, and you can shorten the duration in which they take place and how frequently they occur by educating the population and things like that. But they happen, right? So why not make money from it? So one thing you're going to see, I think, this summer is massive volatility in oil stocks. And volatility means it's time to make a lot of money, all right? So start really researching oil stocks. You're going to see some amazing deals there. I think also, what I mean by deals, because I don't think they're going to drop, I think you're going to see certain spiking sort of moments with those. Another thing is as we see two countries, very powerful countries, Israel and Iran going at it, and I think there's going to be some other countries that go in and attack Israel and stuff. I think you're going to see gold move even faster. I think that's the thing. Now, I'm not saying to go out and buy it, okay? I'm not personally going out and buying gold. I like to buy things that aren't taking off, that people are disregarding, because I'm a contrarian investor. So, of course, if I was to pick a precious metal, can you guys just type down below, take a wild guess at what I'd be buying? Then you've got the cryptocurrency market. And the cryptocurrency market's interesting to me because we are in a bull run, right? And the bull run is nowhere near complete. Based off of the Bitcoin halving cycle, plus what the US government is planning on doing with making strategic investments in Bitcoin and a handful of other cryptos, which will cause that price to skyrocket. And everyone is nailing it right now. It's silver. Copper, I would only be taking copper pennies and throwing them in a little trash can to save somewhere. As a matter of fact, I took a photo of it. I'm going to go post that on X of some of my little copper penny stash. I've got boxes of copper pennies that I bought from a company for less than the actual melt value. Another thing too, I want to remind people, when it comes to copper pennies, it's really important. And thanks to everybody that's been hitting the subscribe button from the penny videos. Thank you so much. Don't ever melt down your copper pennies. First off, it's illegal. Secondly, you'd be destroying the value of the copper because it's actually stamped with a date on it, so it could have some type of collectible value. That's very, very important to understand. So all right, with that being said, I'm just gonna let you guys go. I just want you to really think about the volatility this summer and how to position yourselves right. I've got so many stories to start. It's blowing my mind now. The headlines from the mass media about real estate is they're using the word crash, collapse, it's, oh my gosh. And then what's really cool is in about 6 months to a year, we're going to start seeing it's never coming back in the titles for prices of houses. So we're all sitting here with bated breath, drooling, getting ready to rock and roll in the housing market, but we're still enjoying the run from precious metals and crypto. And then pretty soon we'll start layering out of that, and we're going to start buying cash flowing real estate. All of you guys that are killing it in tax liens right now, congratulations. You are a very small a group of people right now because nobody knows how to do that. So that's awesome too. I'm going to put the link down, pre-filming sale. It is going to go up. It could go up tomorrow or the next day. I don't know when. Just got to get those videos uploaded for the AI stock course. It will teach you not only so much about how to buy and sell stocks, the right prices, let the AI show you all the chart stuff. Everything from reading all the, there's so much to it, it's crazy, but it's going to teach you a lot about AI that you didn't know. It's going to help you in your normal life. All right, with that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.